My name is Matt Grandy, and I'm going to be showing you an advising project that Khalif and I have been working on over the past couple weeks. So, to start off, this is the login page. This is going to be the main page that everyone's going to see first. From here, you can go to the guest page that will show basic information about the college and the departments. So first of all, you would select a certain department that you would want to find information about. So we'll select IT and then just a random catalog year. This will bring up the program list, so the list of programs within the department. You can select each of these sub-programs, and then that will show you a list of the classes within there, within those sub-programs. Over here of the graph, it displays the number of students per program. These are just 3 students that I added into the database, so that's why there are only 1 for each of them. But if the database was actually populated with enough students in each of the programs, then of course this would be a lot bigger instead of just 1 each. This also, at the bottom here, shows a list of the faculties, first and last name, within the department. And that's all we have for the guest information. We can go up to the breadcrumb here and go back to home. Next we have the register page. This will allow users to register for the advising system. So they would type in a username that they would want to create, first and last name, street address, of course. State pulls from a static list. Date of birth as a date picker. You can choose anything there. And then 2 security questions. And we can submit that into the database, or we can just cancel and go back to the home page. So then from here we can go to forgot password, and from here you can type in a username if you have forgotten your password. Let's say we'll use Dr. Azerbad's here and select one of his security questions. Let's see, father's middle name, and that is John. Of course that's not the actual answer, that's just what's in the database. And then we can go to submit. This will populate the username field and then create a new password if we wanted to create a new one. And we won't do that, but if you added 2 passwords and they were identical, then would update the database with that 1 password. So we'll go to cancel, and then this will bring us back to the login page. For this next part, we'll take a look at the student profile. So we're going to log in with the username of student and the password. We'll go to login here, and right away it'll bring up the home page for the student. It'll welcome them. This one happens to be Eric Beverly. It'll list their major, which is computer information technology, and a cumulative total GPA for both the major, minor, and any general ed courses that he's taken, he or she. From here we can go to the student dashboard tab. This again will list the cumulative GPA, the expected graduation date, and it'll break down a list of the GPA per year, and as well as this next part over here will list the specialization GPA. And this part is a work in progress. Didn't really have time to finish it. Khalif had been working on it, but we just couldn't get this part done at all. Profile, we can go to this. This will list the student's name, their address, the email address that they have on file. It will list the department that they're in. Their major catalog year is not right, but it should list their catalog year for the major, and as well as an advisor. And these buttons do not work yet, but theoretically they could change the catalog year if they chose this, and then from there they would select a different catalog, and once they submit that, it would update the database. And here we can change the advisor as well, and that would update the database through post-processing. And from here, the view and edit program, this doesn't have anything, but we were working on it, and if it were filled out, this would allow the student to view the program that they're in, all the classes that they have taken in the program, and they would be able to edit the program. Like, they would be able to edit if they wanted to change the program. And this next tab would list scheduling. And in this tab, of course, nothing's here, but theoretically they would have a list of the schedule that they should take based on their missing prerequisite courses for the major. They could also set up a schedule that they have to of courses that they should retake because of inadequate grades. And along with that, the student will be able to set up a schedule of courses that he or she still has to take based on the missing courses from their sub-program, as well as their general education courses that they still need to take. And that concludes our student section for the advising project. I'm going to log out here and log back in as another user. For this next part, we'll take a look at the advising section of the project, or faculty section. And we're going to log in as T32 as the username, which will be Dr. Azerbad's. And you can see the welcome message here for the home page. It will also list the class schedule that they're currently in. This will pull from the database. It will detect the system date and then pull the course number, term, and year related to that, as well as the courses that they are in, the credit hours, and the number of students in each of those courses. And for this next section over here, this displays a list of the courses taught. So in the current database, Dr. Azerbad has taught 4 courses over the years. And if we go to the advisor tab, there's nothing there yet. But if this were finished, it could list the courses that the advisor or faculty member has requested but has never taught, as well as any preferences on the semesters, such as office hours and research time. And along with this part, the faculty member would be able to see the load analysis compared to other faculty members in the department, as well as modify and insert new courses, and as well as modify and insert new date and times for research or office hours. And those would be requests, and they would be sent to the chair. So they would go in a temporary table, and then once the chair approved them, then they would get updated into the actual table. And if we go to the profile tab, right now this is just displaying a list of the courses, but this would have a lot more if it were populated. Of course, it would have the advisor's preferences. They could edit their preferences from here. They could edit their address, their email address, just anything to do with an advisor profile. And that's all we have for advisor. Kind of short, but that's all we could get done. I'm going to log out here and log in as another user. This next section is one that I had been working on the most recently. It is the chair section. So we're going to log in as T50 and password. And log in here. And this is Leon Tietz's account. He is the, of course, chair for the IT department. And for the dashboard, it's going to bring up the faculty load and current courses. So it'll list all the faculty members, the number of students they have in each course, the credit hours for each course, and each course that they have for the current term. Along with that, it's going to, on the next section, list the number of courses per term. So in the database for fall of 2003, there's only one course offered. Of course, it depends on the database since this is all pulling from there, but this will list the amount of courses per term. And if we go to the setup program page, for this first section of the existing programs, you will be able to choose a type of program, come down here and choose catalog year, and say computer information technology. That will list all of the courses in this program, in the computer information technology program. List the course number, the sub-program identifier name, a cluster name if it has a cluster, if not then has no clusters, the minimum grade for the course, and of course the credit hours. And there's quite a bit of courses in that one. And for this next session, this will allow the chair to create a draft program. So he or she would be able to come up here, choose a program that they would want to add a program into. And type the program name. We'll do just test 1 here. Let's see. Bachelor of Science. We want undergrad. Total credit hours, we'll say 25. And then we'll just do this as a test. Catalog year. And minor required, none. And if they submit this, it will update the database. I created the draft program table, and if I click submit, it will enter all of this information into there. And you can see at the top, program successfully added. And if we go to the object browser over here and click on chair draft program, which is the table I created, you can see the entry that we just created with the draft ID of 6, which is auto incrementing the program number of 22. Total credit hours is 25, and this is a test for the description. So that is creating a draft program, and from there, if the chair wanted to make that an actual program, they could just copy the information from the draft program into the actual program table. So for this bottom left section here, there are 2 reports. So we're going to compare one program to the other. Let's see, we can do Bachelor of Science, say 2012-2013 catalog year, and computer information technology. That will just list the courses that are in it right now. And if we choose Bachelor of Science 2012-2013 and say we want to choose health and physical ed. So this will show the courses that are distinct to each program. So it'll show, of course, all the ones that are in health and physical education, but not in computer information technology, as well as the other way around. It'll show all the IT courses here. And say, if we go to the same program, it should list no differences and all of the courses are similar. And that should work for all the programs. If there are maybe 1 or 2 overlaps, then it'll show it over here in the similarities between the programs. And it'll show the differences on the left over here. And for the next section here, we're going to look at add courses to the program. So the chair can come here, select a program that he or she would like to add a course to, and say we want to go to accounting. We'll go to the next page. So this next page will automatically populate with the program number that the chair is editing, the program name, so he or she can remember what program they want to add courses to. And from here we can select a subprogram that we want to add a course from. This is the list of all the courses from the database throughout the university. So we can say we want to add an elective. This will populate this courses list, and we can pick, say, general biology we want to add to the accounting program, and we can just add the course, and you can see there's a course entered at the top that it was successful. And these courses get entered into a temporary draft table that I created in the database. So if we come over to the object browser in here and go to chair draft course insert table, you can see the list of courses that I have entered. And let's see, and this draft ID of 6 is the most recent one that we entered with the program ID, and general biology is in there. And from here the chair can add more courses, so microbiology if we wanted to add that, and then it should automatically populate in here. And from here, if the chair wants to add the course into the program permanently, he or she could just pull that course from the database, from the draft table in the database, and then enter it into the program table. So we'll go back to setup programs, and that concludes the setup program tab. So we can go to the teachers and teaching load tab, and from here, just like the front page, it shows the list of courses currently being taught and the load for the names. And from here we can click on a name if we want to know details about the teacher. So click on Asher as the last name. It will populate this over here, and it will show the teacher number, department number that they're currently in, last name, first name, and rank. And we can choose any teacher that we want within the department that the chair is in. So about those. From this, if I had created, say, another table with more information, like teacher preferences and stuff, then we could populate this report with that information. But I didn't have time to create that, so just the teacher table is all I have right now. And so the chair can also add a teacher as well. So this teacher number is pulling from the database the current teacher number plus 1, the max teacher number plus 1. And say we want to add them to speech and hearing department, and we'll do John Smith as a teacher, and we'll do professor as a rank, and we can submit that teacher, and we can see that the teacher was added. So we can go over to the object browser here in the database, and we can see John Smith was added to the database, and you can see the other entries I added myself as a chair and professor, but it does insert into the database. And once you hit submit, this will reload the page and it'll clear the cache, so it'll auto increment this teacher number, and you'll be able to add another teacher there if you wanted to. And this clear button will just clear the page. It will redirect you to the page itself, but it will clear the cache. And Actually, if we go back to the setup program, this clear button also does the same thing. So if the chair had filled out all this information and decides that he or she doesn't want to add the draft program into the database, then you can just click clear. It will refresh the page and clear the cache, so you don't have to delete anything or change any values. You can just start all over again. And scheduling, I didn't get to that because I was kind of focused on these first three tabs. And if there actually was information here, the chair would be able to create, edit, and add a schedule into the database and create a new schedule for next term with the current schedule right now, the information from that, and then you would be able to edit that information right away before it goes into the database. I would also add any discrepancy reports when looking at faculty courses and their request days that they have requested for office hours and research periods, and as well as, and this is where I would have the chair verify the draft schedule, so I could maybe add a section in here where it would pull from the database the draft schedule that he or she had created, and then from there would be a submit button, and then that would pull that information from the draft database and it would insert into the actual program table. And that is all I have for the chair. And that concludes our advising system project. I hope you liked our project, and thank you for watching.